Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Beyond the Sideline podcast, a podcast where we talk about the latest sports stories going on today, and we give our opinions as fans watching from Beyond the Sideline. Folks, this is a very special episode today. As you can see on your screen, this random man with a mustache waving into the camera.
Free
For the
rides.
for those who were kind of in, I guess you would call season zero of the podcast, the first 5 episodes, you would know episode number 5, we had our first ever guest, and he has returned for, I believe this is episode 17. I don't even know what episode we're
Ooh.
on anymore. Um, but yeah, man that needs no introduction, but I will introduce him anyway. He is currently, probably when this episode goes live, we're recording this on Saturday, episode goes live Friday. He still may be live as he is doing his first ever subathon over at twitch.tv/Trumanation. He is a 33-time, count him, 33-time top 50 player in MLB The Show across the entire game as a whole, not just the current game, but across the entire franchise. He has been at the top of the leaderboards year in and year out, not only on his main, but his alt account when he does it. As mentioned before, you can find him live, twitch.tv/Trumanation, YouTube and TikTok as well. He goes by Trumanation. Give it up for TJ.
That's a great intro. I'm going to start bringing you around with me everywhere I go.
Oh, yeah, we can do like a WWE entrance, have music playing in the
exactly right.
background.
That was like a Jason Kelsey-esque intro. That was great.
Jason Kelsey. Okay, that's all right. I'll humble myself. Um, but TJ, thank you so much for coming on. I know you're in the middle of your subathon. A lot of stuff has gone on. You're in what, day 7? How have things been going so far? I know I haven't been in chat a lot of the times, but I've been lurking. But how have things been going?
Yeah, it's been good. My eyes are about to melt out of my skull, but no, it's been incredible. Chat's been great. It's been a lot of fun. It's been everything that I could have possibly expected, and we are certainly going to do these every year around release time. So I am very excited.
Yeah, and one thing I forgot to mention during the intro, the video on TJ's side is going to be a bit delayed from the audio, so you'll be hearing him talk before the video catches up, just so everyone knows. But yeah, I mean, I know this is a fork in the road. You've been playing MLB nonstop since the start of the subathon, and even before that.
Right.
But time to mix things up a little bit. You're a week into it. Let's talk ball.
That sounds great to me. I would love to talk some ball. Let's go.
All right, so the MLB trade deadline has come and gone. The previous episode, for those who haven't listened, one of my favorite episodes I've ever done. We recorded the minute the trade deadline ended, so we were kind of some of the first people able to break some news for the trade deadlines. We were some of the first people to break the news of Terry McLaurin asking for a trade. I know that's NFL, but that was also a cool moment. But TJ, I want to talk to you about all the trades that went down during the trade deadline, some of the bigger ones. One of the first one that comes to mind is Johan Duran getting traded to the Phillies. I know the Phillies have been in need of a closer for the last couple years. Some people say that's kind of the last thing they need to get over the hump, as they've been close to winning a World Series and making that push for a World Series, the last few years. What are your thoughts about that trade?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they really were needing some back end of the bullpen help, and especially with the Mets getting after it as well. It was kind of an arms race in the NL East between some of the top teams over there. The Mets got a lot better with Tyler Rogers and Helsley, and the Phillies, they got Duran, which was kind of the big fish in the sea as far as relievers go this trade deadline. And the Phillies, I mean, Yeah, again, you hit the nail on the head. They're looking like a World Series contender right now. He looks great in Philly so far in his couple of outings, and the Twins are even nice enough to send his audio out, his custom audio. Insane.
Oh
My
my.
lord, my lord. If I'm a Twins guy, I'm like, yeah, you can go make your own audio, man. You can go make your own audio. Peace. But man, they were nice enough to send the audio out for his walkout music and everything. Crazy. But I mean, yeah, again, it's a in October you need really good pitching. Pitching wins ball games at the end of the day. Good pitching always beats good hitting, and that's a hell of a prize for the Phillies to get for the back end of their bullpen there.
Yeah, pitching definitely wins ball games. I should know as an Angels fan that I've been very adamant about it off camera and just off the record that I hate our bullpen. I don't like our rotation. It's just we can hit, but we just can't pitch, and that definitely plays a big role into why the Angels haven't been, doing as well as they should. But we're not talking
Call
about
up
the
Tyler
Angels.
Bremner.
Well, yeah, Tyler Bremner. We talked about him in the last couple of episodes. I know no one here really knows Bremner like I do, but I think I've talked about him enough. I didn't even know they signed him to a contract like a few weeks ago. He was $2.5 million under slot. So
W.
yeah, W. We only paid
Already
him.
celebrating.
We only paid him $7.5 million.
W.
But trying to think of other trades that have. Oh, you know what? Let's talk about the Angels, as this one just came to mind. Oswald Peraza getting traded from the Yankees to the Angels. I know Oswald hasn't had the best season so far. He's been kind of up and down. But when I first saw that trade go through, I was pretty happy because, anyone the Angels can get is good in my eyes, whether they are old or young. During the offseason, we got Yohan Moncada, Travis d'Arnaud, pretty much became the Atlanta Braves retirement home. But then, we get a guy like Oswald Peraza, who, like I said, hasn't had the best season so far. But, I mean, he can still get the job done. So, TJ, what are your thoughts on what Oswald Peraza could bring to a struggling team like the Angels pushing for a wild card?
Yeah, I mean, he was a former top prospect. I know you're an MLB The Show guy in the past. There's a lot of MLB The Show guys in here, and we all remember the Oswald Peraza Future Stars card a couple years ago on the show. But
Love that
he
card.
was, he was, and he's still young. He didn't really. It was kind of a log jam in New York there, so he didn't really have a spot. And maybe with a little bit more consistent playing time, potentially he can, he can find his footing a little bit. I think of, a guy that's even a little bit older, but with my team that used to be on the Angels, Mickey Moniak kind of found a home in Denver and is using Coors to his advantage, and he's having a career year. So maybe a little bit of a change of scenery there for Oswald will be good for him, and he'll come into his own a little bit. It's tough though because the Angels kind of have a bit of a log jam as well. In the infield, just because who your shortstop's going to be. They didn't trade Rengifo. I thought that might be a guy that they could unload. You got Simo up now. Your middle infield's kind of set for the next 10 to 15 years, you hope. Third base, I suppose, would be the spot that he would slide in if Moncada is not a long-term option or can't stay on the field. But you guys didn't give up much to get him, so it's not. There's no harm, no foul in this deal for the Angels.
Yeah, it brings about only positives for the Angels for sure. I know one of your top mods, Ethan, is a Yankees fan. I don't know if he's listening right now, but I thought we'd mention Camilo Doval getting shipped off to the Yankees. It was so weird because I mentioned this in the last episode of the podcast. Teams that normally aren't buyers and are considered contenders, so they're not going to make a lot of moves that are going to make big shifts at for their roster at the deadline, seem to be really active this go around. One of them being the Yankees. They go out and get Camilo Doval, who was a guy, honestly, they didn't really need, but is a huge get for them. So, TJ, what are your thoughts on, not only the Yankees getting a guy like Camilo Doval, but just how teams that are normally don't buy at the deadline because they're contenders seem to be buying this go around?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I like that more teams are trying to go for it, if you will. That always kind of fires me up because I think in the past we've seen so many teams be like a couple games out of the wild card and sell, which is crazy to me. I mean, I'm biased to a horrible team, but I think about the Rockies back in '07 when they were, 4 or 5 games back in, the middle of September and sneak into the playoffs. I just always wonder if more teams that were in the hunt bought what that may look like. But, in regards to the Yankees, I mean, man, they made some good moves, and it's just crazy that so far it's not panning out, I suppose. I mean, Bednar and Doval are good pitchers with good track records. And then Jake Bird was good at the beginning of this year, and he's kind of imploded. His last month or so in Denver was putrid, and he's in AAA now, which is insane. The Yankees get him, give him 2 outings, and he's down in AAA. I love all the teams that are buying, and again, I thought the Yankees more so needed a starter, in addition to maybe a reliever or two, but they just bolstered the bullpen, and with all their new additions, they're still throwing Devin Williams in the 9th, and it's not really working out right now. Yankees fans, it's just not really working out. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I think the Yankees are kind of in that wild card spot. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like they're kind of
like
up and down.
Yeah, they're like a half game or a game ahead of the final wild card spot. They're the last team in the playoffs in the AL right now. They're Cleveland and Texas, maybe? Is it Texas, Chad? I know Cleveland is right on their butt, and I think Texas is. I think both of those teams are either a half game or a game out of the wild card, jumping the Yankees.
Yeah, the Yankees. My co-host, who's usually on here, who can't be on today because he's moving into college. He's for those on the podcast who don't know, Jake just graduated from UC Santa Barbara. He's off to grad school, and he is at the University of Tulane now. So
Jake.
He probably won't be on the pod as often, kind of going forward in the next couple months, but we'll even things out and get him back on as soon as possible. But yeah, I mean, the Yankees, as I mentioned, we've talked about it in episodes prior, but they just haven't had the best season compared to what their last couple seasons have been. I mean, what they were in the World Series last year, now they're barely fighting kind of for that wild card spot. So, I mean, you could say that they definitely should be buying at the deadline, but they just off the top of your head are not one of those teams to do so. Another team that is a now contender that kind of bought at the deadline is the Mets. They went out and got who did they get? Why am I blanking on his name?
They got Tyler Rogers, they got Ryan Helsley in the bullpen, and then they got Cedric Mullins.
Cedric Mullins. I don't know why I blanked on his name. Yeah, the Mets are going out and buying. It's wild right now in the MLB. We only have a couple of months left before the playoffs start, and there's teams who don't really look like they can make the wild card. They still have a chance. I mean, I always hate to bring up my Angels, but they're like 5 games or so out, maybe 6. I mean, you go on a good winning streak, the Mariners would have to fall, other things would have to fall into place, but the Angels could still make it. TJ, your Rockies, hate to say it, have no chance.
What if we win out?
If you win out, you have to hope. You have to hope the Diamondbacks lose out, the Padres lose out, the Giants lose out, the Dodgers lose half of their games. Like
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's a chance, but it's like 0.0001. You have a better.
It's not looking good.
You have a better chance at finding a certain female body part.
No,
then
those don't exist.
then
Stop it. That's
then
0.0.
you have a better chance at finding one of those than the Rockies making the playoffs this year.
Oof. Oof.
But speaking of your Rockies, obviously you guys have been bottom of the barrel for years now and just can't seem to kind of get going. I know Denver is a very small market, but you would think with teams like the Denver Nuggets and the Colorado Avalanche that have had a lot of success in recent years, the Rockies just can't seem to catch up. As a Rockies fan and as a baseball fan in general, why do you think that is?
I mean, I think it fully, it's the cliche answer that all of us that live in pain in the baseball world give, but it lies on ownership, for a couple reasons. So you brought up the Nuggets and the Avs. They're both owned by Stan Kroenke, who also owns the LA Rams, and I think he owns whatever the name of the LA soccer team is.
LAFC?
Yes, but Kroenke is a great owner, and he pays his players. He wants to win, and it shows. And then you got Dick Monfort, who, he first of all, he's not a baseball guy. I've told this story a lot on stream, but one of my inside sources told me that Dick Monfort for years and years and years didn't even know what a sac fly was. He was confused as to how tagging up worked in baseball, when he was sitting in his box, which is hilarious. But I think that's where it lies. I mean, you were talking about the Mets. You look at Cohen, and the man's on Twitter pretty much saying, yeah, nobody's going to outbid me. I will give Juan Soto $700 million, this, that, the other. And I think that's badass. And, it's kind of the opposite in Denver. And a lot of it as well just trickles down the organization. It starts at the top and trickles down. We always hire in-house as far as our GMs go. So it's guys that have been raised in the Rockies organization and don't really know anything different. Our last 3 GMs, we've only had, for how bad we are, we've only had 3 GMs since 1999 or 2000, something like that, which is crazy for how bad we are. That's crazy that they keep guys around that long. Yeah, it's 3 or 4 GMs since 2000, but they're always in-house, so it's always that same culture. There's nobody that comes in to, I guess, change said culture. And like I said, it trickles down. It goes deeper than that. The Rockies have one of the worst, we're one of the worst teams in baseball at developing players as well. Our analytics department, one of the worst in baseball. There have been Major League Baseball players that note that the Rockies are in the Stone Ages with their analytics department compared to other teams in baseball. Guys will play in Denver for a year or two, go elsewhere, and they'll be like, whoa. And all of that shows, we can't develop guys. Teams like the Rays that never have sexy rosters compete because their analytics department is towards the top in baseball. And there's a lot of people in Denver that I listen to talk, and one of our commentators, and he played for the Rockies for a couple of years. His name is Ryan Spilborgs. He on his podcast, he is begging the organization, and the Astros did this right before they got good and did the trash cans and whatnot. But right before the Astros got good and all that, you essentially can bring in a third party to audit your franchise, essentially. A third party from outside the organization that comes in, assesses what's wrong with every level of the organization. They go through everything, no stones left unturned, and they give you this big long report and things that essentially you can do to fix what's going wrong. The Astros did this, and how quick was their turnaround? And there was one other team, I forget what other team he said. I almost want to say the Orioles too. 2 teams that for years were, basement dwellers like the Rockies have been, and then just, the Astros have multiple championships, and the Orioles, this year's been brutal, but a killer young core, drafted well, have, been very competitive the last few years before this year. So I would love to see something like that. Somebody come in, a third party, and essentially audit the organization. I think that would be incredible.
Yeah, I know all too well with, bad ownership and bad just management overall as an Angels fan. The fact that Art Moreno pulled the biggest pump fake I think in franchise history a couple
I'm
years
selling.
ago. Yeah, when he said I've decided after, countless hours of discussing that I will be selling the team, and then 2 days later is like, ha, psych. I'm keeping it. It's like, what are we doing? Like, everyone was so happy. I've been saying this for a while, ever since the Athletics fans did it. Like a reverse boycott. Like, I think we should do that for like the Angels, and honestly, even the Rockies, like teams that just have terrible ownership, who really don't know the like what is good and what's bad for their own team. We need to just get them out. I don't get why we allow people with little ball knowledge to own these sports franchises. I mean, you could say, like, when Mark Cuban bought the Mavericks, everyone was questioning, like, why is some entrepreneur buying a basketball team? But he knew a little bit about basketball, and through time wanted to invest himself. That's why he was at almost every he was at every single home game, and he's developed that sports mindset and learned the ins and outs of what the sport is, how to run a team, how to run a basketball franchise, and he became one of the most successful NBA owners of all time. That's stuff that should happen. Like, if you don't know anything about the sport of the team in which you own, invest yourself in that sport. Do what Mark Cuban did. Go to the games. Go and learn from the fans on what they think is wrong with the team, and try to improve upon that. If it's concessions aren't good, okay, let's sweep concessions, start fresh, let's bring in new people. Maybe it's the bathrooms are bad, maybe the ticket prices are a little too high, parking is a nightmare. Hey, maybe our young guys don't seem to be ready. All right, let's get different minor league coaches. Let's get a different player development team. Like, stuff like that, I is what an owner should be doing, not just sitting behind a desk and writing checks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and if they don't want to get invested in the sport, they're successful people, so hire the right team around you to make the organization successful, and just reap the benefits of that income. But and that's, I think, one of the issues with the Rockies and their owner Dick Monfort. He so it's his dad's money. He just inherited it all.
Oh, it's
he
daddy's
he
money.
he didn't do he it was just, yeah, he inherited all of his father's money, and in turn, you know bought a baseball team, and or inherited a base, however the story goes, but everything of his is inherited. So that's kind of where it's tough in the Rockies case, because you got a guy there that clearly, I guess, might not understand work ethic like some of these other owners in the sport. So he didn't have to earn his money.
Yeah, I mean, you can compare that now to the Bus family. I mean, Dr. Bus bought the Lakers all those years ago, and when he passed away, his daughter Jeannie and her siblings inherited it. Now, Jeannie Bus was already all over the team, as she was working at a young age with her father in partnership with him. So once she inherited the team, she already knew how to kind of run it. But then you get guys like in the Rockies organization who just kind of didn't really have as much interest as, say, someone like Jeannie Buss with her father. And when they get it, they just think it's a money grab. They're using it as income now. They could care less about the team. Sure, they have to have somewhat of an interest in order to be able to run it, but I mean, to them, this is just their way of making money. They're bringing people in, they're selling tickets, they're getting all-star games, they're selling jerseys. All right, I made my money. Now what? That's really what it is for a lot of these owners.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know what your thoughts on those comments are.
No, I mean I mean you're exactly right, and it's just at what point I've seen some people talk about this if we're talking about like baseball specifically, but like at what point does Major League Baseball step in? You know,
Yeah.
with the A's are kind of on the come up now. They've been drafting incredible, but like some of these organizations that it's real bad. It's like at what point would they have to step in potentially? So
Yeah, and I mean to go back on the Lakers point, kind of shift gears a little bit. I don't want to stay here too long. Um since, basketball hasn't is kind of in a dead zone right now. But when the selling of the Lakers happens a couple months ago, I was shocked that Jeannie Buss would ever sell the Lakers, that it was going to stay in the Buss family for ever, like until like I don't want to kind of be dark here, but like until everyone in the Buss family like passed away, and
uh,
then it would eventually sell. But I'm gonna be honest, because I don't have as much baseball knowledge as you do, or a lot of the other people who I talk to. I didn't know who Mark Walter was, and I was like, "Who is this guy?" And then I'm like, "Oh, he's the Dodgers guy." I'm like,
yeah.
"Okay, we're gonna sign Luca for 700 million and defer 99% of his contract." It didn't happen, but um, yeah, so I'm really hopeful now for the future of that franchise, because Jeannie Buss was honestly, oh, ever since the championship in 2020, has kind of made very questioning moves. Um, but I mean, then you can look at your team, the Denver Nuggets, who has had who's been very consistent, honestly, ever since kind of the rise of Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic as a tandem duo, and they made all the moves possible to get them to be able to be contenders. I know this is a shock for you hearing this from me and praising them, but I mean I mean they're a good team. It's going to be interesting to see what they do now without Mike Malone for a full season, which was very shocking. Honestly, the entire coach firing like firing wave that happened this past season was just nuts.
Yeah, the worst job in the world has to be an NBA coach because the turnover there
Oh,
is
definitely.
crazy. I mean, it's just crazy. Who was the Raptors guy that won Coach of the Year and got fired the same offseason? Dwayne Casey, is that his
Dwayne,
name?
yeah, Dwayne Casey.
Oh my God, that's got to be the worst job in the world, man. I I don't know, man. I like the whole Michael Malone firing. Like when I saw it, it was the last thing I expected when it happened. I was like, I didn't even know this was something that was being thought about. We just won the title 2 years ago, um, but then a lot of stuff started to come out about from the locker room and
Oh yeah,
whatnot,
I heard all
and
those reports.
yeah, and then it's like, okay, like I see it, and then the Nuggets come within one game of taking out the eventual champions and I mean we gave them their hardest series in the entire playoffs, um, and and you see all that out of David Adelman, like he coached 3 games in the regular season and then the playoffs. I thought that if he won a series, which he won that first series against the Clippers, that he should be the guy, and that is what ended up happening. But I don't know. I like, yeah, NBA coaches. That's a crazy. The amount of turnover in that job is crazy. But I love what we got going on. I'm so fired up for basketball season because you know the moves we make, I think this is the best team that Nikola Jokic has ever had, even better than our championship team. Because even the championship year, Michael Porter Jr. stunk in the playoffs. He was horrible, especially in the finals. If you look at his stats in the finals, he was abysmal. I think Cam Johnson's going to be great. We finally have a little bit more defense on the perimeter, a guy that can play multiple positions. He's a high IQ guy. Michael Porter Jr. has rocks in his head. The only reason I obviously compare the two is because he's obviously going to slide right in there for MPJ. But, and then the depth, just adding depth is so big too. Bringing back Bruce Brown, that literally has a Nuggets logo tattooed on his body from his 1 year in Denver. I mean, like, Bruce Brown is like one of the more random guys in basketball that's just a fan favorite here. And like, Nuggets Twitter was arguably more excited about Bruce Brown coming back than they were the Michael Porter trade. Like, people were buzzing. And then Valanciunas, obviously, he's not going to Greece, which is great. And so Jokic now has his best backup that he's ever had. I mean, the Nuggets in 2 days just gave everybody hope again. And I think Coach Adelman's the right guy to lead that team. The Nuggets always post on Twitter, like post game, like the speeches or whatever after we win a game, and I just like the attitude that Adelman has. He kind of seems like a no bullshit type of dude, just straight to the point. Like his very first game that he won as a coach, Coach Malone, when they used to put those videos on Twitter, he had a big chain, and we would do like defensive player of the game chains, and Adelman walks in the first game he wins, and he literally was like, we're done with that defensive player of the game bullshit. Let's fucking break it down. And I don't know, something about that, I was like, dude, good. If we need to change a culture, like that's immediately establishing it. Let's fucking go, man. I love it. Good.
Yeah, there's coaches who like just somehow like they're the guy for that team, like they just are the team. I haven't seen that from David Adelman yet. Granted, we only got to see him for a handful of games, so got to see how the upcoming season is. But I mean, I give examples like Dan Campbell with the Lions. As soon as that hiring happened, I'm like, oh yeah, Dan Campbell is the Lions. Like there's just guys like that just fit the team, fit the culture. Like I said, I don't know if David Adelman is that guy for the Nuggets yet. I'm gonna have to see how the first few months kind of pan out. Probably how he does in the NBA Cup. Like if he can do well in the in-season tournament, and you can just see that there's a different vibe and intensity with the Nuggets, then yeah, I would definitely say that David Adelman is the guy for the Nuggets, and that he is the Nuggets.
I will say this, unless something drastically goes wrong, I don't see how you could pick another team out of the West right now. Obviously, that changes over the course of the season, but it's Oklahoma City or us as of right now.
I mean, we can.
The Spurs are up there with signing De'Aaron Fox long term. The Lakers stink. No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say. Look, I mean, the thing is, like, everyone always bashes the Lakers. Like, okay, they always come up short, but you can't deny that top three is one of the best in basketball right now. You have LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reeves, who, whether he is starting or coming off the bench, can get you consistently like 18 to 22 points a game. LeBron can get you damn near triple double every game.
Center.
Same with Luka.
Who's playing center?
Who's playing center?
Who's playing center?
DeAndre Ayton. Am I saying that DeAndre Ayton is the best center in the league? No. But he's
Joker
our center.
going for 60 every time we play the Lakers.
Look, I'm happy that we just didn't have to get rid of Rui Hachimura, because he was our, kid you not, Rui Hachimura is our last line of defense against Jokic, as dumb as it sounds.
Bring back Jackson Hayes.
He is coming back.
Start him over DeAndre Ayton's dumbass that can't drive on fucking ice. Has to miss games in Portland because he can't drive on ice.
Oh my god, man.
He regrets bringing me on the podcast, boys.
No, look, I love Jack and Hayes as a center, but he is not starting center material.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just kidding. Like, Ayton's the guy. I like trolling about DeAndre Ayton.
No, like I said, DeAndre Ayton is not the best center out there. He's obviously hasn't been as good as his first couple of seasons when he was with the Suns. But he can still go out there and get you like 15 and 10. Like that's a decent outing for, or like 15-8. Like that's a decent outing for a center. Obviously, he's not Jokic, but Jokic is a different breed. You
The
know?
scary thing about DeAndre Ayton is every single time I watch that man play, he is softer than puppy shit. Like he had issues in Phoenix, and that's why they shipped him out rebounding the ball. He hated bumping and grinding down low. And that's the scary thing, because that's, the Lakers need a guy that can, be aggressive on the boards and go up and get the fucking basketball. You know, like I don't know, man. Listen, we'll see how it plays out, but like I think DeAndre Ayton's a bum, respectfully, but but also like my center like makes a lot of people look like bums. So we'll have to see how it plays out.
Yeah, like I mean, Jokic is the outlier of all centers. Like he is by no means a traditional center. He is a modern day point forward. That's what he is. Like he can bring the ball up the court. You've seen him like thread the needle with so many different passes. All these like behind the backs and everything. The flop shot. God, don't get me started. Just heaving a full court like it's nothing and it going in every single time. I hate it. But yeah, there's no other center like Jokic. Sure, you can maybe say Wemby is already kind of getting up there, but he can't really handle the ball as good as Jokic. He can't pass the ball as good as him. He can shoot the three a little bit. But other than, I mean, he's not a 1-to-1. He's like kind of faux Jokic, if you will.
I think Wemby might have an absolute legacy year here after spending time with KG. Seeing that come across my timeline, I think Wemby might be a top 5 player in the league type of guy this year, like a top 3 of the MVP type of guy this year, because also the couple of guys this past season specifically that I did see Jokic have somewhat of a tougher time with was Chet and Wemby. He had a little bit of a tough time with their scarecrow looking asses just being like 7 whatever. But like Wemby especially, like his size is absolutely insane. I think Wemby is gonna really be the guy that takes. I mean, he's already been really good, but he was an all-star last year. But I think he's gonna be like a top 3 to 5 player in the league this year.
Well, yeah, he was already putting up defensive player of the year numbers before he had to sit out because of blood clots. I mean, I think at the end of the season, I think he still led the league in blocks per game, even though he missed the last like 3 months. I mean,
Which is nuts.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, it's crazy how he's like that good at not only the offensive side of things, but the defensive side of things. Like he's just so athletic.
Yeah.
Like there's so many athletic bigs now. I mean, you have Wemby, you have Chet, you could count Giannis in there. I don't know if I put Jokic in as an athletic center because the dude just runs around like with his head down.
He's athletic in a different way, like his finesse around the rim, his IQ, his court vision.
He's agile.
Yeah, like
I wouldn't say he's athletic.
No, yeah, I mean he's like basketball. When we think athletic, it's guys that can jump out of the gym, that have crazy handles, that are fast, like Russell Westbrook in his prime. And Jokic is none of those, but somehow, some way he gets the job done.
For those who don't know, I'm gonna take a quick pause for a second. TJ is doing this while he is still live, so we do have a live chat, and like I'm glancing over every few seconds and reading everything. And
I haven't been reading.
My words are getting taken so out of context.
Oh no, I haven't been reading chat. I haven't been looking at chat at all.
I have been glancing over, and my words have been getting taken out of context. Not once did I say
you're getting shit on for Ayton.
Not once did I say Ayton is the saving grace. Not once was I claiming that Ayton is a great. I said multiple times that DeAndre Ayton is a not a Jokic style center. He's not the best center in the league, but he is definitely an upgrade from Jackson Hayes.
Barbecue chicken.
I'd much rather have DeAndre Ayton than Jackson Hayes. I mean, wouldn't you?
I'd rather have Brian Scalabrine, but that's just me.
Brian
I'm just kidding.
Scalabrine.
I'm just fucking around. Oh man.
I'd rather have Harry Giles the third.
Just play Jared Vanderbilt at the 5. Call it good.
No,
He'll at
no.
least get you a rebound.
I'd rather play Rui.
Rui.
Yeah, I mean,
Clinton Davis.
yeah, that my words are getting taken out of context. That's wild.
T-Wolves legend guy beat it. Okay, go ahead. I'm back dialed
No,
in.
it's fine. Like I said, I've been like reading chat as we were going, and it's just like I had to chime in at some point. I couldn't wait. But I don't know. It's funny how Gaiabetis is talking. When was the last time the Timberwolves won a championship?
I can't wait to praise my Lord and Savior and then watch Nikola Jokic shit on Anthony Edwards on Christmas Day, guy.
Yeah,
Actually, to be honest, Minnesota's played us really well the last few years. We always have a tough time with them.
Minnesota's good. I gotta give them credit. I mean, but it's all Ant.
We have a tough time with them. Even when they were like hovering around the play-in this last year, they always give us hell, and obviously knocked us out after our title.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's like, well, I mean that's almost every team now. I was gonna say you take Anthony Edwards off the team, they're not nearly as good, but you can do that with any team. Like you take Jalen Brunson off of the Knicks, they're not the Knicks anymore. You take Jokic off of the Nuggets, they're not the Nuggets. You take
We're not even a playoff team.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like give credit where credit is due for teams like the Timberwolves, but without Anthony Edwards, they would not be where they are today. And
Yeah.
it's so funny
Yeah.
because I remember before Anthony Edwards got drafted, he said that he doesn't enjoy playing basketball as much as he enjoys rapping.
That's crazy.
I remember that I remember him saying that. He said he enjoys rapping way more than he does basketball.
That's crazy to me. That's
But
insane.
yet the guy goes out and can drop like 30 against your favorite player. He might lose,
I mean,
but he
he's
can
a
put up
dog.
numbers.
I'm not an Anthony Edwards guy in the slightest, but I mean, on the court, he's an absolute dog. I don't like the guy Anthony Edwards, but the player Anthony Edwards is an absolute. Yeah, he's a problem. He's a problem. I mean, he's MJ's kid after all. So
Yeah, I see. I'm kind of different. I like the Anthony Edwards off the court. I hate him on the court. Just his cockiness and stuff. Like I hate it. But him off the court with his like the cockiness off the court, I can deal with. The cockiness on the court, I absolutely hate.
Guy beat us. I don't like that he texts women, forcing them to get an abortion. Okay, next.
Wow. I don't. Jesus. All right. Let's move on. Let's NFL preseason is starting. That's a big turnaround. But we got about a month before the NFL season starts. Madden just came out, NCAA 26. So you know football season is around the corner. People are starting to draft their fantasy teams. There's still deals being done. Keenan Allen just signed with the Chargers for a reunion, which I love.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's I really like that move. I thought he should have never left the Chargers, but
He's a little older now, but it's home.
yeah,
It's home for him.
I think he's the last San Diego Charger in the league. I could be wrong.
Wait, what do you mean? Oh, San Diego Chargers. I was like, wait, what the fuck are you talking about?
He's the last player.
Okay, that makes sense.
He's the last active player to have been on the San Diego Chargers.
Eckler was never on the San Diego Chargers?
No, I think he came in 2017, I think.
When did they move to LA?
I think like the year he got drafted.
Okay.
I
Got
think.
it.
I mean,
Got
correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, so obviously the Eagles are coming off of their Super Bowl. We can
Yes.
now I actually not gonna lie, before we got on to record this, for some reason, something compelled me to pop into Dimu's stream for like 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone in the chat goes, Kenny Pickett, Super Bowl champion. That's that's a term now.
That gives me Jeremy Lin NBA champion vibes.
Oh wait, he is a champion, huh?
Yeah, the Raptors.
The Raptors in 2019. I forget. See, he's gonna be one of those forgotten NBA champions.
Yeah.
But you know, with teams making these big moves, you know, the Niners getting rid of Debo, Terry McLaurin wants out. The uncertainty of whether or not Micah Parsons will be in Dallas by
that's
the start
crazy.
of the season.
That's crazy.
I asked this to my usual co-host Jake last episode, but who are your early favorites? I know it's way too early, but as a conversation starter, who are your early favorites to at least be in the Super Bowl?
I think Philly is going to get back there. I really do. I mean, they're stacked. Their line is their line with Saquon Barkley in the backfield is just such a deadly combo, as we saw last year. You know, with a pretty good defense, with weapons on the outside. You know, Devontae and AJ Brown. You know, you can say what you want about Jalen Hurts, and I don't think he's the best quarterback in the world, but you know, they have just put so many weapons on both sides of the ball on that team that, I mean, it's hard to pick against them for sure. And man, the AFC, ooh, the AFC, because like a lot of people think that the Chiefs' revenge tour is going to go crazy this year, you know, with the penalties and the whatnot at Arrowhead and everything like that. But I think that it's finally the year that Josh Allen gets over the hump. I think the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl this year. Not just get there, but I think the Bills are going to come out of the AFC. Finally, he's going to get over that hump. So much heartbreak for Bills fans and Josh Allen. And I think that they're going to win the Super Bowl against the Eagles.
The Haley Steinfeld effect.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, how many years? It feels like it's been like 4 or 5 years in a row of just complete and utter heartbreak for the Bills. Starting with that crazy game in Kansas City. Was it the AFC Championship when like 13 seconds left, they didn't squib kick, and then
I remember that game so vividly. I remember watching it in the living room. And I saw that the Bills scored and there was 13 seconds.
I'm like, game over.
No, I didn't. I said 13
Opposite?
seconds, no timeouts. I'm like, dude, it's Patrick Mahomes. He's going to go get it. And sure enough, he went and got it.
Septic Adamas?
I mean, call me LeBron James with the way I predicted that.
LeBron James. Oh, no.
Yeah, that was way... I mean, I did it too with... when it was the last year... Aaron Rodgers was in Green Bay. Green Bay was in town to play the 49ers. And I think the 49ers scored and there was like 30 seconds or something, or 11 seconds. I'm like, it's Aaron Rodgers. The dude's going to get it done. Sure enough, 2 passes later, they're kicking a field goal to win the game. I'm like, dude, it's like with guys like that, Aaron Rodgers, no matter how old he is, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, whether he wants to come out of retirement again, like you give them even a speck of time, they're going to go get it done.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And yeah, like, again, I'm going with the Bills. It's funny you say that because I agree with what you're saying. And I mean, we saw Tom win one in Tampa as an old man, but I do think the theme a little bit more so this year, especially in the AFC, is going to be those younger guys.
Yeah.
Just because I really do think that this year, especially, you're going to see either Baltimore or
Shador
or the Bills come out of the AFC. And I know Josh Allen's not exactly like the youngest in the world anymore. Same with Lamar, but you know, it's kind of that's that next level of guys after Patrick Mahomes and after, you know, he's kind of out of the league here and who knows how long. But yeah, I don't think it's a Chiefs year. A lot of people are saying revenge tour. I'm seeing that all over the timeline, but I'm putting the Ravens and the Bills ahead of the Chiefs at the very least. So
As
And honestly, and I am not a Broncos fan. We're talking about Colorado sports. Like, just for everyone that's watching, I'm not a Broncos fan, so I have no dog in this fight. I think with the defense that they have put together, I think that they are. I don't think they're going to win the AFC West. I don't think they're going to win the AFC West, but I think that it's going to be closer than people think in the AFC West between the Chiefs and the Broncos.
I despise the Broncos more than I have in recent years, as they took Dre Greenlaw and Talanoa Hufanga away from me, and Mike McGlinchey a couple years ago. So yeah, I hate them. I wish nothing but the worst for Bo Nix and Sean Payton. They can go rot at the bottom of the AFC West for all I care. No, but I mean, it's really hard. I get, like you said, it is the year for the young guys. But it's Patrick Mahomes just has that like Tom Brady aspect to him. Like you can't count him out, and it's hard for me to bet against him. Although I am a Niners fan, I've always loved like the Bills and Josh Allen ever since he's been there, and I want to see them win. But I mean, it's so hard to bet against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I feel the Chiefs know how to win because they've been there, done that so many times. But like a word that us video game folk like to use, as you know, Septic. The Chiefs got bailed a lot last year, and I get that there's a lot of, a lot of people with their conspiracies about the NFL wanting the Chiefs to win
pre-game.
But I'm just saying, man, that luck's got to run. It's not going to last till the end of time. And I think this year we're going to start seeing the Chiefs lose some of those games that they somehow pulled a rabbit out of a hat and won this last year. So, and I mean, and I think it started in the Super Bowl. I think it started in the Super Bowl. If there is a conspiracy with it, I would say it's that the NFL let the Super Bowl play out fair, and that's the real Chiefs. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're still a good team, but I think that they're more what we saw in the Super Bowl than what they were 3-4 years ago.
Dude, I've never had more fun watching a Super Bowl than last year's or this past Super Bowl.
I was upset. I wanted to see a close game.
No, dude, I hate the Eagles, but I think I hate the Chiefs more because I was like, I felt like a kid in a candy store. Just like bomb after bomb. Cooper DeJean getting a pick six. And then like he's my Jackie Robinson.
Hey, I'll say this. We've talked about multiple teams in the AFC. I want to see so bad Micah Parsons get traded to the Rams so that way Aaron Donald comes out of retirement. If that happens where Aaron Donald comes out of retirement, I mean, the Rams are they were solid last year.
The Rams are good.
They were solid. They gave the Eagles a run. That was maybe the Eagles' toughest game damn near in the playoffs.
It's so hard for me to give credit to like teams I hate, especially divisional rivals, but like the Rams are good. It's going to be interesting to see how they do without Cooper Kupp. And now I was actually talking about this with someone else in a different Twitch stream, and they were saying that the Seahawks were going to make a big run this year. They have Sam Darnold, and
Mike Cock
and Cooper Kupp, and they're like, oh, Cooper Kupp was good with the Rams last year. I'm like, yeah, the dude's old, and there's way more other options on the Seahawks now. You have Jackson Smith, you have Kenneth Walker.
Say his last name, Septic.
Njigba.
Thank you for the enunciation there.
Sam, I said it when the Vikings were going on their little streak, that it was the biggest fluke of a team that there was, and obviously it showed in the playoffs.
Right.
But yeah, I don't think Cooper Kupp is going to be as good as he was. He was already kind of showing signs last season that he wasn't what he used to be. Now, granted, Cooper Kupp is still a great wide receiver. I would still pick him up to put him on a team, whether it be fantasy or IRL. But I mean, there's just other wide receivers out there who I'd much rather have over Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, his injuries are a concern. I mean, those he's had plenty over the years, and those add up as you get older. So yeah. I mean, I agree. There's plenty of better receivers in the NFL than Cooper Kupp, and I mean, like DK Met, you're essentially replacing Cooper Kupp with. Or you're replacing DK Metcalf with Cooper Kupp, and I mean, in my opinion, that's in 2025 a downgrade.
Oh
So
yeah, I mean DK is much younger, much more built. Like he can get around people easier. I think he's faster than Cooper Kupp.
he's a hell of a lot more athletic.
Yeah, a lot more athletic. I think I mean, you can make an argument. Cooper Kupp's route running is a bit better. You can argue who has better like hands, but overall, I'd rather have DK over Cooper Kupp any day in 2025.
Yeah, no doubt.
But I don't know if you heard when you were mentioning teams that might have a chance to make it over the Chiefs, and you were mentioning the Ravens, the Bengals, and then you mentioned young guys, and I don't know if you heard, but someone in the chat picked it up. I said Shador. I wanna go back to that.
No.
I am so lost as to why the Browns decided it was a good idea to go out and get Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, draft Dylan Gabriel, draft Shador, and then they have a fifth one who I'm forgetting who the fifth one is. Oh, isn't it Deshaun still? Is Deshaun Watson still there? Who's the fifth quarterback?
Is Deshaun still there? I mean, he's not playing because he tore his Achilles, but
yeah, I think it is Deshaun. Yeah, but he wouldn't be playing because he tore his Achilles. So you essentially still have 5 quarterbacks. Why in your right mind do you pick up 5 quarterbacks, 2 of them being drafted, one of them young and upcoming in Kenny Pickett, and then a veteran who can semi get it done still?
I mean, we were talking about bad ownership earlier in Major League Baseball, and the Browns are one of the worst run teams in all of professional sports. You could argue that, them and the Jets are the 2 worst in the National Football League. And I mean, I think the Browns take the cake. But again, the Browns are one of the worst. They're one of the worst run franchises in all North American sports. It's a zoo over there, so it's kind of on brand for them, to be honest. It's not shocking, I suppose, their draft.
Yeah, I remember I saw a clip from Jason and Travis Kelce's podcast when they had Baker Mayfield on.
I saw that.
They asked, "Oh, what's going on in Cleveland?" And Baker goes, "I don't know. I'm not there anymore."
Baker was like, on to the next.
Yeah, like I mean, that goes to show how much he hated his time there, and like how bad things are. Because even if you leave a team, like look at when Tom went to the Bucks. Like he was still praising the Patriots. He was still congratulating them for their efforts. But when there's something wrong with the team, a player's not going to go back and start praising them. And I think that's what happened with Baker and the Browns. There's some bad blood there, and I think it's because of ownership.
Yeah, no doubt. I completely agree.
I want to touch on now because you said you're not a Broncos fan, yet you root for every other major sport. You root for a Denver-based sport team. Football is the only one where there's an outlier.
Yes.
And you root for the New Orleans Saints. How do you feel about that team going into this upcoming season, which is starting in just about a month?
We'll beat the Panthers once, and we'll beat 2 more slapdick teams, and we'll go 3-14 and call it a year and get the number 1 or 2 pick next year. That's what the Saints are going to do this year.
Nice.
Next.
That was a lot quicker than I expected, but No, yeah, I mean, I don't even know who's on the Saints if I'm being honest. It's not Desmond Ritter, right? Desmond
No,
Ritter
you're thinking of
is the
Spencer
Falcons.
Rattler.
Spencer Rattler. Yeah, Desmond Ritter is the
The
Falcons.
Falcons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Spencer Rattler. Who else is there? Alvin.
Literally like Chris Olave, who now has Tua Brain, Michael Thomas, whose feet don't work, slant god. The line is dismantled. The defense stinks.
Is Alvin Kamara still there?
Alvin Kamara is my goat. He'll forever be my goat. I'm not talking to you, Alvin. In this whole conversation, I'm not talking to you. I mean, like your two impact players are Chris Olave and Alvin Kamara, and you got no quarterback. And we're gonna win a couple games in which Alvin Kamara rushes for 3 or 4 touchdowns, or rushes for 2 and catches 2, and then, like I said, get the number 1 or 2 pick next year. So
I don't get why Alvin Kamara is still there.
yeah, I mean, he likes it down there. It's home. I personally would not want to be around that dumpster fire if it's me, but I love Alvin, man. I mean, I love Alvin Kamara. I hope that he's been staying out of clubs in Vegas this offseason. But
Hope.
But regardless, I love Alvin Kamara, and yeah, I don't know how much longer he's going to be a Saint. To be quite frank,
honestly, I feel like he should have left ages ago.
Yeah, I mean, again, a weapon like that, it doesn't really do you much good when you look at everybody else on the field with you. So the other 10 guys on the field with him are, it's gonna have to be kind of like a Derrick Henry in Tennessee type situation with Ryan Tannehill running the show, but we don't even have a Ryan Tannehill is the problem. So. So yeah, it's a disaster. It's pretty much been a disaster since Drew retired and Derek Carr has come in. At least I don't have to watch Derek Carr anymore. Granted, it would be an upgrade for what we have now, but again, maybe I don't even know. Hopefully, Arch Manning balls out this fall, and then we go get him here in a few years.
The savior, he's coming home.
That's you can only hope because he's from New Orleans, so they're all from New Orleans.
So the Rockies went out and get the hometown kid.
Yes.
And you think the Saints are gonna go do it now? That would be. What did you put into the? Who did you have to call? If that happens.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest though. I'm not really completely sold on Arch Manning yet. I need to see a good fall out of him here.
Well, yeah, he hasn't had a full season yet.
He hasn't had a full season. I need to see something. I mean, people keep talking about Arch Manning. I mean, I need to see it. We need to see it.
I forget.
No, not this year. In a couple years, Dan. Yeah.
I forget where I saw it from. I forgot what report I read, but some people were saying that Arch Manning isn't all that he's lived up to be.
That's my fear. My fear is that it's the name.
Yeah, no, and then they're not saying he's going to be a bust. They're just saying he is not going to be as good as people are claiming him to be. And like you said, it's because of the name.
Yeah.
You have a name like Manning, people are going to automatically assume that you're good.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So he's going to have to prove it now with Quinn Ewers not there. Going to have to see what he does in Texas.
Quinn Ewers got drafted to the Giants. Quinn Ewers drafted where, chat?
I don't know.
Giants, right?
Good thing we have a live chat.
Wasn't it the Giants? Who did he get drafted to?
No one's saying it.
Dolphins. Dolphins.
Who's to say? I mean, after one full season, Arch doesn't transfer.
Yeah, Texas is going to always get the top recruit. I mean, a school like Texas is going to always get the top recruits. I mean, they could have a guy that comes in and takes his job if he has a 8-4, 7-5 season. I don't think he will at Texas. I think they're going to be good, but I'm just saying, college football is kind of a next man up type of game with the transfer portal. So you got to always kind of watch your back in college now.
Yeah, who do you root for? Oh yeah, you root for LSU. Why am I even questioning?
We're gonna stink too.
Yeah, it's funny because for professional sports, all of my teams are in California, but when it comes to college, I picked Kansas.
Rock chalk.
Yeah, Rock Chalk. They're
Septic is the biggest Les Miles fan in the world.
um, but I mean, don't get me wrong. I love like UCLA, but I don't know. I just broke that rule when it came to college. And if I'm being honest, it's because of NBA 2K.
Yeah, no, fair.
Yeah,
Completely fair.
I remember it was NBA 2K16. That was my first ever 2K, and you had to pick your college after high school. And I looked up what is the best college basketball team, and Kansas was the first one that came up. So I'm like, okay, then.
Bang.
And now I'm a Jayhawks fan. I mean, I would definitely change if the college I'm going to right now, which I've mentioned before, is on this podcast, is UC Santa Barbara. We don't have a football team.
That's so unfortunate.
Yeah. So
They'd probably only be like an FCS school anyway.
oh yeah. I mean, there's a couple teams in California that are FCS schools, like UC Davis. They're a D1 school, but their football program is FCS. Or
Can I just get your live reaction to that?
I saw the chat and I'm not responding.
Can I get your live reaction
I saw
to
the
that?
chat and I'm not
Please?
responding.
I'm begging.
Let it be known, in 2K16 and 2K17, I was a center and I was a not a paint beast. I was a rebounding machine. I'd be there. I'd get the rebounds, cross court kick out, bang.
Oh,
But then
for the sake of your viewers that don't see the live chat understanding what we're talking about, the live chat just said, "Damn, he's been playing since MLB 2K16 and still sucks this bad."
The thing is, though, I don't play I never really played online. I didn't play a lot on my park. I was my league guy, or I think it's called association now. Someone in the for the obviously sucks for video format. I mean, I don't have a way to pull the chat up, but someone said 2-way 3-level team garbage can.
Oh, I gotta stop looking at chat. I keep giggling. Oh man.
No, but no, yeah, our my college does not have a football team. We're trying to get one, but it's gonna cost us a lot of money. But for now, we have, we have the main sports. We have volleyball, basketball, baseball. Shout out Tyler Bremner.
New millionaire.
Yeah, multi-millionaire, $7.5 million.
That's a lot of money.
It is, but I mean, 2.5 less than what someone like who's the dude who went to the Mariners? I remember
Cade
Cade
Anderson.
Anderson. Yeah, $2.5 million less than what Cade would have got with the Angels.
Yeah, that is true. Artie's jumping for joy.
Yeah, woohoo! We saved money. But with that, thank you all once again for listening to the podcast. You can find us on YouTube if you prefer video format, Spotify, and Apple Podcast for audio only listeners. You can find us on Beyond the Sideline. So with that, TJ, once again, thank you so very much.
Thank you.
I hope to see you all back for the next episode.